Hey, welcome to Bowhunter's World TV. This week we're going to be doing a fair chase ram hunt in my home state of Michigan, and then we're going to go to Missouri with Brandon Hathaway as he hunts fall wild turkey. Bowhunter's World TV is brought to you by High Country Archers, Burt Coyote Luminite, Hunter's Safety System, Big Green Target, Ed's Archery and Sporting Goods, Icy Tech Coolers, and these fine sponsors. Hey folks, this week our first hunt for Bowhunter's World TV is going to be a fair chase ram hunt in my home state of Michigan. In Michigan, like a lot of other states, there's high fence operations. In Michigan, once the animal is outside of that enclosure for whatever reason, whether it escaped on its own, found a glitch in the fencing system, or in some cases they're actually even let out, they're fair game to any licensed hunter. With me playing in the band on the weekends, I meet a lot of different people. And one night in between the sets that we were doing, I was talking to a gentleman, and we ended up talking about hunting. And he knew of a ram that was outside of an enclosure. And so I made arrangements with him to contact the landowner that the ram had been seen on, and I got Chip to run the camera. The setup on this is I'll try to be quick so we can get right into it. The setup on this is we watched the ram for a couple of days, and we found the spots, the areas he was going in and out of a hayfield into, and we set up what we thought we was going to be setting up, getting him coming out of the hayfield into the woodlot that he was staying in. What had happened was he ended up leaving on this particular morning. He had ended up leaving a little bit earlier with the deer, and he got a few steps ahead of us, so we had to try to stalk and track him down, and we ended up finding him in his bed. And in the footage you'll see I'm throwing sticks at him, trying to get him to actually stand up to where I can get a shot. Now, this was one of Chip's earlier ordeals with a camera, and it was his first time ever using the new camera that we had at the time. And he had bumped one of the switches on there and put it onto an autofocus. So some of the focusing spots, especially at the shot, is a little bit off. But the hunt's still very, very cool. So you guys want to sit back, and we're going to bring that to you right now. Okay, that ram left the hayfield this morning, and it was too dark when he left to get any camera. There was not enough light to get him in on camera. I caught a glimpse of him moving up in here. I know he's going to bed, so right now we're going to try and get up close enough to him. Right now we're just trying to follow him. I didn't know where he was going to bed. I still don't know where he's going to bed. But we're just trying to keep far enough away from him until he lays down. We can try and get stocked up to him. So, come on, let's see if we can get up to him.
This is like down in Louisiana swamp hog hunting thing down here. Let's move while that wind's blowing and get these trees rustled, these leaves rustled. I'll tell you what, if we don't get close, we'll be able to shout out to this stuff. I can barely make out that saddle patch on it. Gotta try and get as close as we can to him.
This segment of Bowhunters World TV is brought to you by Big Green Targets.
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's just Yeti.
Icy Tech Coolers, the original premium rotomolded polyethylene cooler that set the standards others aspire to. Icy Tech, proven performance, keep your cool longer. Goodbye, Yeti.
Brock's Hunting Buddy, the ultimate deer hunting decoy. Get the deer used to you in your spot. Brock's Hunting Buddy is there when you're not. Brock'sHuntingBuddy.com. Order yours today.
Why do you need a Victory Archery arrow? Spine-aligned carbon shaft. Match grade arrows to plus or minus half a grain per dozen. The fastest growing carbon company in the world. Why do you want a Victory Archery arrow? Just take a look. To achieve, you must first believe, then you will receive. Victory Archery.
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's just Yeti.
Icy Tech Coolers, the original premium rotomolded polyethylene cooler that set the standards others aspire to. Icy Tech, proven performance, keep your cool longer. Goodbye, Yeti.
Did you get the arrow, Andy? Did you get that? Can you believe we stalked that close to him? He would not get out of that bed. I lobbed some sticks to get him to stand up. We got run off of him. When he took off, he didn't go 10 yards for a drop. So, what we're gonna do next? I know I hit him at his shoulder. He was quartered slightly towards me, and I know I hit him at his shoulder. And there's a little bit of matter on the arrow. I think that was coming out. Probably come out back here on this end. On him on the other side. But he dropped quick. We've given him about 20 minutes. So we're gonna go see if we can find. We don't even have to bug trail him. Can you see what I see? Just can't tell if his head's still. Looks like it's caught on that vine. This is sweet. He's a little matted up on the back. That's where it come off right here. But he was angling a little bit towards me. Oh yeah. That might have been that much high. Funny. It's like he's shedding that. Looks like he's shedding. Broke that off here. He's got this cool little saddle patch on him. It's really cool. What do you think of that? Can't tell if he's pure Corsican or if he's mixed. That's not a pretty animal.
This segment of Bowhunters World TV is brought to you by Icy Tech at hpcoolers.com. Icy Tech, keep your cool longer.
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's just Yeti.
Icy Tech Coolers, the original premium rotomolded polyethylene cooler that set the standards others aspire to. Icy Tech, proven performance, keep your cool longer. Goodbye, Yeti.
Brock's Hunting Buddy, the ultimate deer hunting decoy. Get the deer used to you in your spot. Brock's Hunting Buddy is there when you're not. Brock'sHuntingBuddy.com. Order yours today.
Why do you need a Victory archery arrow? Spine-aligned carbon shaft. Match grade arrows to plus or minus half a grain per dozen. The fastest growing carbon company in the world. Why do you want a Victory archery arrow? Just take a look. To achieve, you must first believe, then you will receive. Victory Archery.
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's just Yeti.
Icy Tech Coolers, the original premium rotomolded polyethylene cooler that set the standards others aspire to. Icy Tech, proven performance, keep your cool longer. Goodbye, Yeti.
Hey guys, this week's tips and tricks section I'm going to try to make really short and sweet so we can get into some more of the stuff with the Bow Doctor and Brandon Hathaway's hunt in northwest Missouri. This one is going to come off of Facebook. I posted some pictures once we got this new high country archery, and there was a lot of people that were interested in the fact that I'm shooting a 33-inch axle to axle bow with my fingers. Mainly the reason that I still shoot with my fingers is because I've been doing it almost my entire bow hunting career, my archery career, since I was very short and very young, and it just seems to be more comfortable for me. I have used a release in the past, and you know, I suggest even to people that are starting out in archery to use a release. With these shorter axle to axle bows, the only tip that I can really give you is when you're shooting is to I shoot with one finger over and two under, at least into my draw cycle. I do. Once I get back to full draw, I usually drop my ring finger out of the way, so I'm holding it with just the two fingers. Another easy way for people shooting the shorter axle to axle bows that want to shoot with, or finger shooters that are looking to buy a new bow, but their issue is that almost all the bows out there are short axle to axle anymore. And that's the trend that is going, and it's probably going to stay that way. Is to shoot what they call Apache style, which is three fingers underneath the arrow. The reason that I don't is because I can control the arrow on the rust itself. That way, if I bounce off my rust, if I'm using a launcher style rust with a burger button versus a drop away like the ripcord that I use on occasion, if something happens during the draw cycle and the arrow pops off the rust, I need to get it back on. And actually, I don't know if you noticed in the ram hunt that we just showed, my arrow did jump off the rust and I had to bring it back on. So that's a reason that I use the two fingers, or two under and one over. But it's extremely effective for me, and even with a 33-inch axle to axle. And like I said, I just drop the finger off before I shoot. It's really simple. It's actually more comfortable, I find now, even shooting the recurves and longbows that I shoot, is to drop the finger off. It's just become habit now. It's that simple.
Bow Hunters, we're a Bow Doctor with Steve Jilts, brought to you by Ed's Archery and Sporting Goods, Clio, Michigan.
Okay, now we've got the string off the bow, and we're going to install the loop. I'm going to use a small cotter key right here. See how we feed that on there like so. Going to feed the loop on through both holes. And now you can see the loop is on the string. We're going to slide it up to the serving. Doesn't matter where we put that at that time, or this time. We're going to be adjusting that. Move our cotter key. Now we're going to put the string back on the bottom cam. Here's where you want to make sure everything tracks correctly. And I always put my finger on it and take a good look and make sure all our strings, cables are in the track, because that can cause a lot of problem if you take it out of the press and it's not in the track. And we are all set. Now we're getting ready to mount the string loop. We've got it out of the bow press and in the bow holder. And we're going to stick the arrow onto the string and install it in the rest. Now a lot of people say, why do we have vanes at this end of the arrow when they're actually supposed to be at this end of the arrow? We do this because we get a lot of customers like to watch us do our work, and It's hard for them to see just a tip sticking out of here, and for safety we don't have them lean across, and a lot easier to see, and they're not hitting their head on the end of the arrow here. Okay, we've got our arrow directly across the hole. That's what we're looking for. Fairly center here. Now we're going to install some levels. We're good to go there. Okay, right now we're leveling the bow. That's where you want to start. You don't want to start with the arrow. And now we have the bow perfectly leveled. And now we're going to level the arrow. And we are perfect. And you can take a look at that and you can see that's where we want to start. Level is as good as you're going to get. You still will have to paper tune the bow, but this is the best starting position you can get. Okay, we've already got your loop on the string. We've got our white marks here. I've already manipulated it to where I want it, and we're going to slowly set it now. Got a set of knocking pliers that pull loops. Actually, it's a loop pulling plier. And we got our loop started real good. We'll move it in so it's about the size of a knock. And if you look real close, you can still see our white lines right here. Now we're just going to snug her up. Now, we got the loop on, and everybody says, well, we put the loop on, how do we adjust it? If we need to paper tune it, you simply turn it, it'll go up the string, turn it the opposite direction, it'll go down the string. So it's totally tunable for when you need to paper tune your bow.
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's just Yeti.
Icy Tech Coolers, the original premium rotomolded polyethylene cooler that set the standards others aspire to. Icy Tech, proven performance, keep your cool longer. Goodbye, Yeti.
Brock's Hunting Buddy, the ultimate deer hunting decoy. Get the deer used to you in your spot. Brock's Hunting Buddy is there when you're not. Brock'sHuntingBuddy.com. Order yours today.
Why do you need a Victory archery arrow? Spine-aligned carbon shaft. Match grade arrows to plus or minus half a grain per dozen. The fastest growing carbon company in the world. Why do you want a Victory archery arrow? Just take a look. To achieve, you must first believe, then you will receive. Victory Archery.
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's just Yeti.
Icy Tech Coolers, the original premium rotomolded polyethylene cooler that set the standards others aspire to. Icy Tech, proven performance, keep your cool longer. Goodbye, Yeti.
Hey folks, on this next hunt, let's run to northwestern Missouri with Brandon Hathaway on a hunt he did this past season for fall wild turkey.
All right, it's December 4th. Sitting here in northwest Missouri, got a bow in my hand. Got 2 buck tags. Nothing filled yet. Calm morning. I think the wind's only about 7 miles an hour, which is great. It's coming from the west-northwest. And get the food plot out here in front of us. There's still some grub they can eat on, so we're counting on a deer. Actually, here's some turkeys yelping back here in the background, so. Got Ryan Smith behind the camera for me this morning. This is his farm. He can almost guarantee me a shot at a turkey this morning, so if we get an opportunity, you know what's gonna happen. We're gonna bear with it and see what happens. So, it's 27 degrees. I'm ready to put a supersonic broadhead right through the cage of a big old Missouri buck, so stick with us. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second.
All right, stand. That's a good shot. But never have I had one just buckle up and fall over like that.
I can't believe I smoked him, dude.
So
Smoked her good. I mean, look at that.
let's get a tag on her and get out of here. How about it?
Let's do that, buddy.
Congratulations, buddy.
Hey, thanks.
Bowhunter's World TV is brought to you by High Country Archery, Burt Coyote Luminite, Hunter's Safety System, Big Green Targets, Ed's Archery and Sporting Goods, Icy Tech Coolers, and these fine sponsors.